This is Duke University.
So the idea with the TED Talks this year, Fuqua is really into cross-functional learning, and we hope that you embrace this today. We're going to give you exposure to our 4 tracks. We start off with sustainability, then we have finance, then we have, in the afternoon, we're going to look at social impact and technology. So we have 4 people that we've picked that we think are really going to share with you their experiences in each of these fields. Nikki Rodoni of Gills Onions is going to start us off this morning. Nino Fonlo is going to follow her with a little bit of a presentation about what he does. And then this afternoon it will be Elliot Sanchez from N School, and Will Patrick is going to finish us up from Google X. So we have a wide variety of topics that we're going to touch on, and we hope that you are as excited about hearing from these folks as we are. So without further ado, I'm going to bring up Nikki, and she's going to talk a little bit about sustainability efforts at Gills Onions. Gills Onions is the largest producer of fresh-cut onions. They're in your salsa, they're in your spaghetti sauce. Whenever you get that sweet crunch, it could be a Gills onion in there. But they realized up front that it was going to be a little bit of a challenge, because with that first slice of the onion, they realized there's a substantial amount of waste that goes into producing those onions. So Nikki's going to talk about how her team has really facilitated being able to be sustainable, responsible in a corporate sustainability and responsible way, and I'll turn it over to her now. So thank you so much.
Great, thank you so much. First of all, I have to say it's a great honor to be here. I think this program, what the students have put together, is very diverse, very interdisciplinary, and I hope that I contribute as much as I take away today from the other speakers. Basically, when I started the sustainability program back in 2007, I had to look within and outside our industry to create what we have now, and be inspired by other companies that set really ambitious goals. So today I'm going to talk about why we started, how we started, what does sustainability mean to us, taking sustainability to the farm, and overall considerations. So a little history about Gills Onions and Rio Farms. Rio Farms and Gills Onions are both owned, family-owned and operated. Rio Farms is our growing operation. It was started back in 1978 by David and Stephen, who you see in the middle, and their father, Alan Gill. They started with about 500 acres, and they were growing in 2 growing regions, Monterey County and Ventura County. And today they've become one of the 9th largest growers in the West. We grow over 17,000 acres of row crops. We're still family owned and operated. In 1983, David and Stephen were growing some of the commodities for a salsa company. They were growing the peppers and the tomatoes. And the salsa company wanted to transition from dehydrated onions to fresh onions, and asked David and Stephen if they would grow their onions. And they said sure. They were a lot younger than they are now, and they really wanted to diversify. And the salsa company had one stipulation. They said, can you peel the onions before you send them to us? And again, they wanted to diversify and integrate, and they said sure. So they started with a very small seasonal peeling operation that would only peel during the summertime. So we started with about 14 employees. Fast forward today, we've become one of the nation's largest onion processors. We have over 400 employees. We serve to industry, which is pasta sauces and salsas, to retail and food service. And one of the reasons why the salsa company asked is that for them to peel the onion, and they arrived whole peeled, is they did not want to deal with the waste stream that came from peeling onions. So why did we start a sustainability department? Well, in 2007, I started in the marketing department, and one of the requests, or a couple of things that started coming in, were surveys from our customers. How sustainable are you? What is your environmental impact? And quite honestly, we had no idea what sustainability meant back in 2007. We associated it with environmental impact. And so it was up to me, because I got handed the surveys, to go figure that out. And it gave me the opportunity to really learn about the operation at a very intimate detail. So what makes us unique is that we control the product from seed development and variety all the way to growing, harvesting, packaging, processing. So I had this opportunity to go learn what we do in the growing region, talk to our field managers. I went to the processing facility, talked to our production managers, our engineers, and asked every single one of them what sustainability meant to them and what were we doing. And everybody had a different answer. But what I took away is that we were doing a really good job of being efficient. And an example would be, we had in our growing operation, we converted all of our conventional irrigation to drip irrigation, which really was becoming more efficient with our water usage. We had increased our bed size so we get more yield to the acre using less land, less water, less inputs, to the efficiencies that we had implemented in our processing facility. That means new lighting and new energy efficiency equipment. So really we started the sustainability due to address these customer surveys. But what we found is that this also, regulatory issues, especially in California, you have to validate what you're doing before you can make any of these claims. Air Resources Board, the Water Board, how much water are you using? So this gave us an opportunity to really stay proactive and prove what we were doing in our efficiency. And it gave me the opportunity to really know our business at a very detailed level, a very intimate level. So an example would be our emissions inventory, knowing how much fuel we use, how much propane we use, down to how many forklifts we have, how many tractors we have, really understanding your business at a very detailed level. And then a big part of sustainability, which we had never done before, was able to share our story, what we were doing, and then by having these numbers, we were able to validate our improvements. So our journey towards sustainability, how did it start? It started by accident. It wasn't going to happen unless the leaders of the company really had vested interest and believed in this. They did that by hiring me full-time to dedicate my entire job to developing and improving what we were already doing. Develop a roadmap and break down the tasks into small steps. So really I started at a very grassroots efforts, just a practice-based understanding what we were currently doing, reporting that, and then developing a sustainability dashboard so that you have the numbers right in front of you, kind of you paint a picture of what you have, a baseline, and then your areas of efficiency and inefficiency and where you start tackling those jobs. Prioritize your data. So that's how we did that, by painting a picture of our efficiencies, our inefficiencies. Being able to meet regulatory and customer demands at the same time. And it's really important, I heard passion a couple of times from Danielle, and passion. You have to develop a team that's very passionate about what they're doing. And defining sustainability. And I think any company that has a sustainability program, it needs to incorporate people, planet, and profit, and however you define it is really your thumbprint of sustainability. So major sustainabilities at the processing level, we started resource tracking and reporting. Again, being in marketing, it's great to be able to validate your claims. People are becoming very savvy, and if you report something that's not true, they're going to call you out on it right away. We started a really comprehensive recycling program, and I'm very happy to report we've achieved a 99.6% diversion rate since we started this. So we've reached a zero waste goal. That was very ambitious, and we're still improving. Our waste to energy project really is what catapulted us into the sustainability arena and promoted us as leaders in the industry. And I'll talk a little bit about a new flow battery that we put in too. So when I said that Gills Onions started as a result of La Victoria Salsa not wanting to peel their onions and create waste, we knew, and Steve Gill knew when he first peeled his onion, he was going to have a problem. Well, we're peeling at our busiest season about 1 million pounds of onions on a daily basis. And when we peel an onion, we take the top and the tail and we go down a layer or two to get to that quality onion that we're after. When you peel 1 million pounds of onions, we generate over 300,000 pounds of onions on a daily basis, This picture is a previous solution that we were using to deal with our waste stream. Seems like a great solution. We were disking it back into the ground, but it's a highly concentrated amount of onion waste, and it created a host of problems for us. Soil acidification, pests, not to mention it was costing us $450,000 a year in labor, diesel fuel to get this waste stream out of our processing facility. We were in Oxnard, California. We were going to have to look at different areas to move our operation if we did not figure out a way to deal with our waste stream. So Steve Gill worked with UC Davis on bench scale testing to figure out our solution. And this is what we came up with, an award-winning solution to turn our onion waste into 100% of our base load of electricity through anaerobic digestion and fuel cell technology. It took him 10 years to figure that out. It took a lot of money and a lot of research to get where we are today. And I'm really happy to report that it won the National Award for Engineering Achievements, and one of our competitors was the Dallas Cowboy Stadium. So we clinched first place. And this is really ironic because the Dallas Cowboys practice their spring practice, or whenever they practice, in Oxnard. So I'm going to tell you how it works. And in this picture, you'll see at the top, these are the onion peels that come out of the processing plant. What we do is it goes through 2 mechanical juice extraction processes where we separate the juice from the solids. If we're processing 1 million pounds of or 300,000 pounds of onion waste, that generates about 30,000 gallons of onion juice. That onion juice is then sent to an anaerobic digester where bacteria feed on it, create a really methane-rich biogas. It's then cleaned, conditioned, and purified, dried, and sent to 2 300-kilowatt fuel cells to generate our base load of electricity. And this is all on site, so we don't have to take it anywhere. The solids, which you see in the middle picture, are sold as high-value cattle feed right now. And we're looking at ways to incorporate those solids into packaging material. We know how to extract the nutrient content from that, so it would be a food additive. It's really high in flavonoids. And then the last picture is the fuel cells, which aren't that exciting, but they generate our base load. They're hydrogen reforming, but what's really exciting is there's virtually no emissions involved in this. So the emissions are a little waste heat, water, and CO2. So this is the simplified schematic, and up at the top you'll see the juice, the big thing in the middle, that's our processing plant. It's about 95,000 square feet. All the onion peels come out to the juice extraction process, sits in an equalization tank. There's the big 145,000 gallon digester. This is the cleaning and conditioning. There's the fuel cells, and then we just put in a new vanadium redox battery, and it's a battery, the first of its kind in the nation and the largest in the world. And what we do is the energy, we purchase energy at nighttime when in California our rates are really low, the demand is very low, and then during the day when the rates are extremely high, we discharge what we stored from the battery. So again, we're saving on our electricity costs. And just also the bottom line is we're no longer sending that onion waste out to the field, so that's saving us $450,000. We're generating our baseload of electricity, which is saving us up to $700,000 a year, and that's $1.2 million. So we've solved a problem, and we've turned what was once a huge liability into an asset, not because we wanted to be environmental, but because it helped the bottom line. So we always say we start our sustainability programs with a good economic case that translates into environmental benefits. So bottom line, I got ahead of myself, and we're also eliminating the use of 40,000 gallons of diesel fuel. So, and the onion waste did push us closer to a zero waste. And this is the picture of our, well, it's the building that houses our flow battery, which is about 4,500 square feet, and it's 3 200-kilowatt batteries. So we've developed a really comprehensive program at the processing level, and since we are vertically integrated, we saw we branded ourselves, we were able to market, we were able to save money, and so we thought, okay, let's do this at the farming level. And for the onion part of it, we don't just grow onions, but we focused on the onions. We have 3 different growing regions in the state of California. We started there. Well, we started again with very ambitious goals, and we tried to track all of our inputs, our fuel, our waste, our water, our pesticides, our fertilizers in 3 different growing areas. And we partnered with the Gills School of Environmental Science and Management, and what we realized is that we failed greatly. It was it was too ambitious for us. But we didn't fail, because what we took away is that we have to focus on what inputs and what resources really make a difference, both environmentally, regulatory, and the bottom line, and the quality of our onions. So what we're doing now is that we've taken it to Monterey County, which is our biggest growing region, and we're focusing on water and fertilizer. California, we're very regulated with our water, and we have a new ag waiver that's gone in that's going to regulate the amount of fertilizer that we're using. Water and fertilizer happen to be the 2 things that affect our onion storage program, which is what we grow in Monterey County. So we're starting there. We're starting very small, and we're tracking those 2, and then we'll expand from there. We invested in new technologies like soil moisture sensors and inline water meters, so we know exactly what we're dealing with and exactly how much water is going. We have eyes beneath the soil. When we drip irrigate, it's hard to tell how much water has gone down. So we're really becoming more efficient. We're developing baseline calculations, and we participated in California with the Stewardship Index to help us kind of streamline this information. So that's really hard to see, but the value of the information, the grower value, they really know what they're doing and the resources that they're using. They had a good estimate before this, but now they really hone in to the details. The economic value, obviously, when you save on water, water is very expensive in certain areas in California. There's the economic value of reducing what your resources are. And then we have the reporting demands so we can justify what we're doing and our improvements that we're making. This is my favorite part, because we're able to market and share. We've won numerous awards around the nation and being recognized as leaders. And the great thing about Gills Onions is the owners really want to share what they've been doing, and the collaboration that you guys mentioned. I mean, the collaboration I learned from other industries, and now we're collaborating within the industry. Once was something, the ag industry is very, very competitive, but sustainability is a platform where we can all share ideas to move this along quicker. So we're proud of our awards, and we talk about them a lot. And so the overall considerations, there's value at taking a look at your operation. It's an opportunity to enhance customer awareness of what you're doing, and we've earned trust and established a great reputation, and it's here to stay. Thank you.
Produced by Duke University, online at duke.edu.